The only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer! Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters. We're going to bring you the news and reviews of your favorite brews. I am Dan Baker, and I am joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and of course the demented and fermented
Wayne Baker.
cousin it. We're home. We're in the basement.
Yay.
We have a lovely crowd of patrons around us.
Yeah.
Greetings,
Thank you for
patrons.
coming out, guys. All right. We have also, this is a very long-awaited episode, and I am so damn happy it's finally happening.
It was long awaited before today, also long awaited this evening.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Very, Wayne had to run around a lot.
Our guest is like, why the fuck was I so punctual?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
This
Sorry
is what
about
you get.
that.
This is what you get. The guest that we have.
I just want to say thank you, Jim. Screw you, Dennis.
The guest that we have tonight, we've had him on the show before with his partner in crime, an up-and-coming brewery. We have joining us for the first time for his very own episode.
Oh, that's right. That's me. Brooks Hemauer from Hemauer Brewing Company.
Yes, thank you for coming out here, man.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's long overdue. What is it? About 2 years ago, Little Big Beer Fest for the first time.
Yep.
I think
Probably,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Two or three.
I feel like
probably
three.
closer
I think
to
it was
3
three.
years.
I think it's
Because
been
it was
three.
still at ABC.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, the first one was
On
at
the
ABC.
stage.
So.
Yep. Oh,
I love that
that
stage.
stage.
I missed that stage.
Yeah, that stage
miss
is
Oh,
that
cool.
come
stage.
on. You guys got the alley now.
We do. We have
We have
podcast alley.
podcast row.
No one
We
puts
were-
Beer Busters
we
in the alley.
Graduated.
Yeah.
Right? We graduated to the spot where nobody sees us, unless you're going to the bathroom.
Sometimes that's a good thing.
I know, that's-
true.
that's a fact.
That's why this is an auditory medium. Don't forget, out there in podcast land, you can follow along with all these fun shenanigans. Twitter and Instagram, we are at Beer Busters. Facebook, we are Beer Busters Podcast. There's beerbusterspodcast.com. We don't say it very often, but there is also Untapped. We're Beer Busters on there. Follow along with what we're drinking. Toast our check-ins and all that shit. And there's also Patreon. Don't forget, patreon.com/beerbusters, where you, for as little as $1 a month, could be in the basement for a recording. Like all the lovely people that are here today.
That is one of the better perks. We do actually invite our patrons to come out when we do basement recordings because they're not open to the public. There is, disclaimer, vetting process. If you're a crazy person, we may not tell you where Steph lives, but otherwise, definitely check out patreon.com/beerbusters.
Yes, you should do that because we also have the last call that you get to partake in
And punishment
and the
videos.
punishment videos, which rumor has it.
Rumor has it.
Oh God, that our guest is supplying the punishment beer or beers.
Ouch.
Yes, that is affirmative.
All right.
Also, we have Snapchat.
Oh yeah, we're using that
I
again.
love Snapchat.
Steph's all about the Snapchat.
I'm all about that Snap.
It's on my
About
phone.
that
I haven't
Snap.
opened it.
That
in a
was
while.
over 3 years ago that I started that, and then it went away after like 2 months.
I know.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're old. It takes time.
It does.
But I want to thank Brooks not only for waiting patiently for us to get here, but for also supplying the punishment beers because whenever someone else does my work for me, it's always a wonderful thing. So I very much appreciate
Not
it.
a problem. I'm glad I actually can empty out the refrigerator for once.
Also,
True
thank you
motivation.
for providing the not punishment beers too.
Oh,
Yes.
you're welcome.
That's probably more important.
Yeah, not a problem. Glad to help out.
Yeah. I'm very thirsty, so we are starting off with a sipping beer because why the hell not? Why the hell is not? Damn it!
Heyo.
Damn it!
Guess what kind of beer we're drinking?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Now, Brooks, this is one of yours.
This would be mine. Yes,
All
sir.
right. I love the smell of it. I haven't taken a sip yet because I've been talking.
It's
Somebody
delicious.
else talk, so I can.
It is delicious. Is it just called Hemauer Helles, or does it have a name?
Well, I was kind of on the way here tonight. I was kind of thinking of different names. This beer doesn't have a name. It's not even on Untapped yet.
Damn it!
A couple of these aren't.
Well, if we come up with a name right now that
Well,
you're comfortable with, Steph will
I
add
was
it.
kind of thinking like, what the hell is Alice?
What the hell is Alice?
I don't know. That was kind of dumb, but
See, the problem is, and I can tell you from long, arduous experience, all the good Hellas puns are taken. My favorite is Hellas Other People from Tired Hands. I think that's my favorite
yeah,
Hellas
and
pun.
I'm terrible at naming beers. I really am. So that's why a lot of our beers are just what it is.
I can just put it in as Hellas.
Yeah, there's a certain
Good
quiet dignity to just having Hemauer Helles.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait, there is a
Double H.
suggestion from the gallery. Hellas for children.
Hellas for
Hellas
children.
for children.
Well, you're on the Google machine. You should.
I don't think that's gonna pass.
Yeah, I don't think the TTV is
Mustard,
gonna
yeah.
like
What's
that when I.
the ABV?
I don't know. I can't remember. Hey, you ask me how much a square foot for ceiling tile is, I can right away, like that, right now. What the ABV of this? I think it's like 5.
It's probably.
I don't think I have to add it.
Hold on. Let me.
You don't have to.
Nope,
yeah.
I already created it.
You don't have to put the ABV on tab.
Can you edit it later?
Oh my god, it is a process.
No. All right. Well, it's too late.
What episode is this? 184.
For 4. Yeah.
You should name it. What the hell is the ABV? No ABV listed. No. All right.
Or 184 Hellas.
184 Hellas. I say we stick with Hemauer Hellas.
Yeah, it's straight into the point.
Yeah. Well, regardless of what it's called or how much alcohol it is delicious.
It really is.
Thank you. This is actually my first lager I've ever made.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's something I knew I'd have to do eventually.
If you ever wanted to be on our podcast.
Well, that.
Yeah.
As well as I'd never really had the refrigeration capabilities to maintain the proper fermentation temperatures. Now I do. So whipped it up. I actually really like it, and we're going to be brewing it tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So it's going to be one of the first beers that are going to be released at our grand opening at the tap room.
Nice.
Awesome. That's amazing.
It is delicious.
It's a good sipping beer.
Yeah,
It really is.
It's 5.
Although Dance
5
is already
even.
gone.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Too late.
Man, everyone's
Toothpaste is out of the tube.
can't put it back in.
You could just add it again as something different and just never reference the original.
True.
Somehow
It could
we'll
be-
get 20,000 unique beers tonight.
Yeah.
And just keep adding them. Untapped's going to be on to us.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, on that note, we do have a little bit of news that we should get into. And this is somewhat timely and will still apply when the episode releases. You are welcome, because
Doesn't happen often.
this episode is the first episode of 2020.
Oh, I guess it
Really?
will be,
Happy
yeah.
New Year,
Happy
everybody.
New Year,
Happy
fucking New Year.
fucking New Year. It's about time it's 2020.
Yeah.
God damn it.
God, I feel old. I
Yeah,
remember. I remember when it was 2000.
Yeah. Well, I was saying to Wayne on the way here, I saw the perfect meme the other day. 1980 was 40 years ago, which is weird because 1980 was also 20 years ago. Think about it. How do you think of 1980? Not 40 years ago, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
We're old.
Yeah.
Shit.
What's the news, Dan?
The news.
Happy fucking New Year. We're all
dead.
We're all slowly dying.
We're all slowly dying and we're all closer to death. So every year, the Brewers Association puts out how the year was in
Wait,
review.
is this a list?
Sort of ish.
Listish?
This
It's
is,
list-ish. It's a year in review for 2019 for how the beer industry was and like all the good things came out of it. There was 4% growth year over year. Craft brewers were responsible for more than 550,000 full-time equivalent jobs, which is an 11% increase from 2017, with 150,000 of those jobs directly at breweries and brew pubs. Craft brewers contributed $79.1 million to the U.S. economy in 2018, a 4% increase from 2017. Who wants to take a stab at the brewery number?
Oh God, here we go again.
It's not an exact number, I'll say that.
It's 8,000 or 9 by now.
Not 9.
Well, I'm at least in it now. Finally.
That's
Yeah,
true.
there you go. 8,501.
Well, and one. To be honest, it just says more than 8,000 craft breweries. But I feel like last time we mentioned a number, it was like 7,700.
It's over 8,000.
Yeah. 4,700 craft brewing companies have adopted the independent craft brewer seal, representing close to 80% of craft beer brewed in the U.S. Delaware's 21 small and independent craft breweries became the first state with 100% adoption of the seal.
Oh,
Wait,
cool.
no. Wait, time out with that.
Whoa, hold on.
Time out on the field here. Now with the acquisition of Dogfish Head,
yeah.
since Sam Adams is a publicly traded company,
Oh, shit.
It's not.
It's not on
how
the
can
list.
they? How can
good
they be?
point.
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not trying to stoke any fires.
Well,
but
it sounds to me like you're starting some shit.
I think pretty much.
But
Choose your
you've
battles.
made a good point.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
I mean,
that
just
that is true.
call a spade a spade. I mean,
Yeah.
you want
that's
you want to
true.
fall under their determination of what a independent brewery is. I mean, I'm still kind of shocked, but then again, good for Sam.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad. We talked about this at length when it happened, but I mean, I don't think any of us think it was a bad move for either
No,
brewery.
I mean, it could have been so much worse.
but you do bring up a good point as a public company. Yeah.
that is true.
All right, so 99% adoption.
Right. 324 representatives and 74 senators co-sponsored the Craft Beverage Modernization and Tax Reform Act, in the 116th Congress, resulting in unprecedented bipartisan support. And the Brewers Association has been a key player, they say, in moving forward legislation that seeks to permanently recalibrate the federal excise tax for the nation's brewers.
That's
they better
expiring.
pass that. They better.
Yep.
At the end. Well, when they listen to this, it's going to be expired. They better fucking pass.
Yeah. By the
thing.
time you're listening to this, that will have already happened.
Yep.
So
Clock is ticking.
call us with your your time machine phone. Call in and let us know how it went.
805-991-BEER. There's more to the infographic, but that was kind of like the big parts there. So craft beer industry still on the rise. I'm curious to see, and we mentioned this before we started recording. Seltzers are a thing. I'm curious to see how the craft beer industry, people listening can't see them doing air quotes over craft beer these days, to see how it evolves and what the growth looks like next year now that there are different segments of the craft beer industry.
Yep.
You look like you had so much more to say than
I have a very important point. Yep. Well, I think
keep my opinions to myself.
Yeah, I mean, eventually it's just going to be the craft beverage industry.
It's going that way already.
I like seltzers. Press makes the best seltzers. If you want good seltzers, buy them from Press.
There's nothing wrong with
Woman-owned
seltzers.
company, phenomenal product. That's what I'm
Did
drinking.
we try?
Hashtag not a sponsor.
Did we try
Hashtag not a
those
sponsor.
when we were here on Thanksgiving? Did you have some of those?
the press?
I don't remember.
No, we did.
Yes, we did.
We
Although,
tasted some not so good ones.
No, but we did taste one that maybe it was press.
I think
You
it
had-
was.
I think we did have a
Yeah.
press.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I have
I
to say,
enjoyed them.
I'm not the
They're good.
biggest
It's
seltzer
all the
fan.
sugar is malt derived.
Yeah.
So it's not that fake sweetness. The flavors are really smart and like I'm shaking my head. Modernish, I guess. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
they're like thoughtful flavors. It's not like I just think it's a quality product.
Good.
Yeah.
I would be open to trying more of their flavors.
And they are not a sponsor.
They're not. They should be. But
They
they're
should
not.
be, but their product is really, really well done.
Hey,
I would love to have them
sponsorship
on the show.
Opportunity is
Yeah.
available.
Yeah, that's right.
info@beerbusterspodcast.com.
Because I'm sure press is
Just
listening
email
to our
Steph
podcast.
at beerbusterspodcast.com.
That's true. Well, if they email info, we all get it. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm
True.
not just going to respond.
Lee.
Also true.
Lee.
Wow.
Press secretary right here.
Something like that. That is all I saw in the news. And that's the only thing. There's more that was in the news. This is the only thing that's still going to be relevant when this episode airs. But that leaves us more time to talk to Brooks about Hemauer. How exciting is that?
It's pretty damn fucking exciting.
I know, man. It's been forever in the works, and it's finally here. So you're opening in Dillsburg, right?
Well, that's kind of a two-part question.
Oh man, see, I even looked at your website right before we started recording to make sure I got this right.
Okay. Well, yes, we are open for production in Dillsburg.
Okay.
So that is the detached garage.
That's the detached garage.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So, my daily commute is 22 steps out the back door.
Nice.
So,
Yes.
no
Yeah,
need
we
to-
talked about this the last Little Big Beer Fest, I remember.
Yeah, so I have no issues with traffic, with parking, or anything like that. But, for 99.9% of the time, it's great. There's that 0.1% where my wife is also self-employed that I can't get away from her because she's at home as well too. Literally the other day I was washing kegs or doing something. Literally I turned around and she's right there up in my grill like, "Hey, what do you want for dinner tonight?" I'm like, "I don't care. We can just whatever." Food.
I'm washing kegs.
Yeah, right. Or, "Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think? Can you give me 10 minutes here and let me just try to finish something and I'll be in." But, it's been wonderful. I've been, we got licensed in late August, early September. So it's been a couple months. Made the career change being full-time now, which has absolutely lifted a huge burden of stress off my shoulders. Trying to do both the 9 to 5, which wasn't a 9 to 5, it was more of a 70-hour work week, plus building the brewery, plus being a father, being a husband, where now I can concentrate on getting my business up and running, supporting my wife's business, as well as being a father to my children. And the greatest thing of all, I'm home to put my boys on the bus every single morning.
Oh, that's great.
Every single morning, and I'm usually home when they get home as well too. So whether that's I got to step outside the brewery and in the boots and just wave at the bus driver. Yeah, I'm home. Yeah, the door's unlocked. They can come in. So it's what. To be honest with you, it's never been so rewarding. I've never been happier in my life. My wife and I's marriage has never been better.
Good.
As well too. I mean, I think I'm definitely a better father to my children, which ultimately at the end of the day, that's really most important.
Of course.
There's three people in the world that mean dearly to me, and I care what they think, and they can tell the difference. So
Good.
that really helps out.
That's awesome, and I always think and most of the people we've met that are starting out young small breweries are working full-time jobs while putting the business together, up to the build out and the beginning of production. So when you finally get to that point where you can say, this is now what I do, and I can have a life outside of my work again, it's got to be amazing. I don't know how people do it. I mean, I'm lazy, so
it's all passion.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can talk to anyone. I mean, I don't care if it's hot rods or passion about sports, underwater basket weaving, whatever. When you talk,
Wow.
That's a major course in college nowadays, right?
What?
Underwater
sure it
basket
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, communications.
Wow. Hold on there.
Yeah, so is past life regression therapy.
Anyway, where were we going with this?
I don't know.
Passion. It's all about passion.
Yeah. Anytime you talk to someone with a passion, they light up, and that's the way I was with beer. And it's not work to me. I mean, I'm building something that maybe someday my boys can take over as their own. But that's the decision that they're going to make. I'm not going to make it for them.
Yeah.
They could say, well, Dad, I want to do whatever.
I want to weave baskets underwater.
Absolutely. Go ahead. Be the best damn basket weaver underwater that you can.
Just don't let him get a communications degree. Trust me. Nothing good comes from that.
Not at all.
No. So, okay. So I re-looked at your website and I had crossed my wires. So you're open in Dillsburg now, as we've discussed.
Correct.
We discussed. But you will be opening in Mechanicsburg.
Correct. Yeah.
That's where the actual tap room is going to be.
Yes. Yeah. The tap room. We just signed a lease about 3-4 weeks ago to open up the tap room. So I get to transport all the beer that's manufactured at the garage, ship it out there. I was out there this afternoon, scraping the glue off the floor from the previous owner, as well as taking out the ceiling tiles, kind of starting to go over the renovation process, as well as we met with the architect today with floor plan, and there's a lot of work to do. Tentative date March 1st, I'm hoping.
Ooh.
March 1st.
I'm surprised you offered a date without being asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's very unusual.
Well, I mean, it's something that I think is realistic. Now, the only thing I can see that will hinder that, because we take over the space for good, that I'm hoping to start swinging hammers come January 1st. So, I mean, January's a long month. I mean, there's 31 days plus, February's a short. The only way I can see it maybe getting delayed is because of the state. Now, I do meet with the Liquor Control Board Tuesday. So when you hear this, we've already met to kind of go over the preliminary.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Well, it's going to be Tuesday.
I know, but how did it go?
Oh. Really well, let me tell you. But I think since we already established, we already have our brewery license, technically it's a storage location, so I believe the process should be much easier to get started that realm versus starting the brewery in itself with all the inspections and things of that nature for it. So at least I'm hoping.
You're going to have a production facility separate from the tap room.
Correct.
You're going to brew in the garage, and then that's going to go to the tap room.
Correct. Yeah. So tentatively, the plan is that I'll be brewing every single Monday.
Right. Okay.
So my Mondays will be at the garage brewing, and then Tuesday maybe having a day off, which any entrepreneur or business owner knows that there's no days off. So
Right.
You're always constantly doing something. Something can be done.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday through Sunday have operational hours at the tap room, which I will pretty much be there 24/7 for at least the first couple months until we can find someone to take over as a bar manager. That's something that's high on my priority list, to find someone I can trust to basically hand them a key saying, okay, I'll open up, but you're closing down. So, I'll be there all day. 5 o'clock comes around.
Yeah.
I'm going to be late for dinner. I got to go. So, trust me, I'll be watching.
Yeah.
I'll be watching. But I'm so excited to finally see this mission come to fruition. I mean, we're partially there already. We've started to get our beer out there to, a couple restaurants here and there, but nothing. I really haven't put the effort into that. Mainly, you're at wholesale, so you're working harder for less. There's higher expenses. So to me, I believe we already have the brand exposure out there with how many beer festivals we've gone to. So we're not like the new kids on the block, like, oh, I've never heard of them before. We do have a following, which love our guests to death. Which once again, always, when are you gonna open? When are you gonna open? When are you gonna open? At least when I finally post the signed lease, that was just a huge, ginormous weight lifted off my shoulders. That finally we can say, okay, this is where we're gonna be. Mm-hmm. This is where we're gonna be, and it. Part of me was we did everything in our power to go into Dillsburg. I mean, we put offers in on a 4,000 square foot warehouse that needed complete gut out HVAC system, but it had the potential. I mean, that had so much potential to it. Of room for special party rooms, things of that nature that can be rented out. But it just turned into a hot mess. Yeah. I won't go into the long story of it. There was another place a little small storefront that basically, hey, let's just put a little cooler in the basement. Yeah. Let's just get a couple taps. Let's just get some cash flow going. They didn't like the use. Yeah. And then there was one other place in a strip mall that used to be an ice cream shop. My kids loved it. They loved that place to death. It was fucking expensive because it's one of those you pour the ice cream yourself and then you got to add all the toppings on there, and the toppings are like $10 a pound. And
yep.
Yeah. Would have been perfect. I already had a bar set out. I'm visualizing that there's not really going to be much renovations. They already have sinks. They may have a walk-in cooler ready to go, but the place still is empty to this day. But they say no, it's occupied. It's occupied.
Weird.
That's one thing I've learned. My wife and I have learned that, number one, people in the real estate business, at least in the commercial end, are not motivated to do anything. So it must be all these people who own these properties really don't need the fucking money.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, and not to talk about real estate too much, but I think a lot of people buy real estate properties just for the appreciation. That like in a few years they're going to turn around and say whether there's a tenant or not. Well,
and you got to remember though as well too that they can write off as a loss on their taxes as well too.
Yeah.
So it was really discouraging. I wanted a tap room downtown Dillsburg. It's like a ghost town. There's really nothing there. Mm-hmm. It just breathed and I had the community support behind me that we could breathe the life in. Number one hurdle we'd have to get around is that. Right now, at this point in time, on the books, that you cannot sell alcohol in the downtown district.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was a dry town at one point,
right.
Like 10, 11 years ago.
And now it's just that area?
They changed it, but there's only certain areas where it's zoned that you can.
Right.
Now, I presented the borough council, proposition what we're wanting to do, and it's still amazing to this day how people have no idea what a tap room really is. Yeah. Because once you think of a brewery, everyone thinks that it's a bar. Yeah. You're gonna be open till 2:00 in the morning. People are gonna be doing shots, fights.
Yeah, I think there's a perception. We're kind of come from a biased perspective because obviously we're pay attention to the beer industry. But there is a perception where it's either like industrial space, like production, or it is like a corner bar. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people we've talked to over the years, one of the biggest struggles is getting the local authorities, the proper people who can give you the permission to do your business on your side and to make them understand what it is you're doing. I remember one of the earliest conversations we had with Steve Armstrong, way back when he was trying to get Armstrong Ales off the ground, was he going to town hall meetings or whatever, getting in front of the township council, and people like... people live there their whole lives, and you're like, they're going to be selling beer till 2 a.m. Yep. There's going to be drunk people, and it's and that was 6 years ago. It's 7 years ago almost.
That was actually just in my Facebook memories.
Oh, really?
I think it was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
The time we recorded there, and he played guitar for us.
Yeah. And it's still a battle that's being fought now. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it is just education to the local community, and the board seemed rather intrigued by it. But there's I didn't have the time to really fully pursue it, as well as there's some real estate issues with the downtown district. I won't go into detail because it's not really doesn't really matter now. But ultimately, at the end of the day, our heart is still in that community. We will always support that community. My wife is from the area as well too. Our children are in the school district, so we'll always support that area any way we can. big long-term goal. We will be there eventually.
There,
It's
yeah.
just we got to get up and running, for a couple of years, see how things go, and
Yeah, and I think having an established brand and having books that you can be like, look, this is the profit we've made, this is the community we've been operating in. The place hasn't turned to anarchy.
and it's a legitimate it's a legitimate business that
Yeah.
people like they have a track record. They know how things are run. That way they're probably much more receptive to someone coming in and doing it versus someone. Oh yeah, I've never done this before. But
It's
this is
like
what I
if
wanna do.
Applebee's came and we're like, we want to build an Applebee's here. Like they have a bar.
You've mentioned Applebee's a lot on this show lately.
Really? When was the
Yes.
last time I mentioned Applebee's?
last episode.
Did I?
either
yeah,
last
I
time-
haven't even listened to the whole thing.
I listened to it on the way here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, last one that came out as of this recording.
Yeah,
at, Love
yes.
City.
Yeah. Fucking Applebee's. Hey, man. I actually haven't been
I'm
to
there
Applebee's.
every Thursday.
Steph goes to Applebee's all the time to have trivia with
Trivia.
Dow.
Yep.
But I haven't actually been to an Applebee's in quite a while.
So we should let's step back a little bit. So I know at the top of the show we mentioned that we had you on the first time at Little Big Beer Fest a couple of years ago. That means this has been in the works for at least that long. When did the idea first come up to say, "Yep, I'm opening up a brewery"?
So it all started back. I've been home brewing now. I think coming up on 5 or 6 years. It's been a while. I got the crazy notion of like, hey, there's a local beer festival for homebrew. Let's just try it. Let's get beer out there. And one of the beers was the Dill Pale Ale, and people loved it. And to the point of, hey, where can I buy your beer? Well, I really can't sell it to you. I can give you all you want
Right.
for free. I'm like, well, that kind of just got the gears going, okay. And then I went to the next one, and sure enough, same thing again. Where can we get your beer? Where can we get your beer? Where can I buy it? So I'm like, well, maybe we have a product here. I've always, wanted to start a business myself. I think it's mainly because of my type A personality. I just think everyone else is wrong and I'm right. Except in my marriage. I love you, sweetheart. We are a team. We talk things through. But I was kind of kicking things around in my head, just by myself and kind of, thinking of how the process would go, things of that nature. And my wife and I took our honeymoon. We've been married now for 12 years. Yes, we married in 08.
Maybe stop and thought.
Hey, I want to make sure I get it right because I won't hear the end of it.
I can edit this if
I was
you
going to
need.
say,
All
if,
right.
if you're wrong,
No, we were married in 08 because our oldest was born in 2010. So yes, it was 12 years in November 1st.
if you want to say all that again with more confidence, we can just edit that in at that point.
No, it adds to the story.
There you go.
So when we got married originally, we decided to buy our house to begin with. We felt it was much more of a financial benefit to us than going crazy on a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 honeymoon. So
Yep.
we saved and saved and saved and saved. Shannon was starting with the boudoir business. She's been very, very successful in it. She's killing it. It's just amazing. So we had a little bit of money that we saved over the years, and we decided to let's go on a honeymoon. So we went to Mexico. On the plane down, I actually rode Sam Calgione's book, Brewing Up a Business.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of reading that on the way down.
Which is available at audibletrial.com/beerbusters.
Or you can borrow it from me. I have it.
You get a free 30-day trial, and you get to download and keep one audiobook at audibletrial.com/beerbusters.
Okay, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if there was another advertisement coming up here.
Take the opportunity when I can.
All right. So, so I've been kicking this over for, a couple months, and we were sitting on the beach in the little cabana, and I said, hey, what do you think about this? I kind of explained my vision of what, how things would go, and she's like, she could tell, how much, how passionate I was about this, and how I really wanted to make this reality. And she said, all right, let's do it. Are you sure? You really know what you're signing up here? Yeah, let's do it. If you want to do it, I'm with you. Let's do it. So that kind of got things started. We got back home. Started talking with a lawyer, and we had the garage. I kicked it. The idea of having the detached garage brewery. So I started looking into local zoning, and I'm like, well, rural agricultural, you can have a business. Yeah, and it doesn't say we can't. So, I mean, the way I look at laws, hey, if it doesn't say you can't do it, to me, you can do it.
Yeah.
Forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah, I mean, I love working in those gray areas.
Yeah.
So, hired a lawyer, and he just wrote up a draft of, basically our, intent. So, we sent it off to the zoning board, and came back, denied. You cannot. You need to be in a manufacturing zone. You're manufacturing. So that was a huge hit to us. I mean, that really, I was crushed. I mean, I really was. So we kind of put it on the back burner for a little while, and talking with the lawyer, he's like, look, we can fight this. It's going to be expensive. I'm like, well, we have, we have some money saved for this project. Do I want to wrap up a huge portion of it just trying to be allowed to do something? Yeah. I'm like, let's just see how things go.
Yeah.
So we kind of put it on the back burner, and there's a gentleman that I knew through my work that I've interacted with him for a couple years, businessman himself, and you just, we got talking, hey, he told me, I hear you have, you brew your own beer, and he saw that passion in me, and he's like, well, why don't you start your own business? Why don't you start a brewery? I'm like, well, short story, it's a long story, but it's a long road ahead. So we kind of kept talking, sat down for a couple meetings, and then we ended up coming to an agreement, taking him in as a partner in the business, and he's really helped us along the way, putting us lining us with the right people to set the foundation, to the right staff, accountant, lawyer, boy, I mean, everything to at least get started. So
was it lawyers, bankers, and what? Thieves? Lawyers, guns, and money?
That's what I was going to go with.
No, from
from
your brewery.
Yeah, when they were here.
There was a third thing. Bankers, lawyers, and something.
I can look it up.
Bankers, lawyers, and
I don't remember.
Isn't it the name of the episode?
I think it is the name of the episode.
So, so we basically started from ground zero. The original attorney, I had to let him know that we will no longer be pursuing things with him.
Right.
Understanding guy. I mean, I still talk to him.
Landlords, lawyers, and bankers.
Landlords was the other one.
I still talk to him. Time to time at beer events and things like that I see him at with the Brewers of Pennsylvania. But so once we submitted again, we had to go in front of the zoning board. Basically, I was on trial. I was on the stand. Yeah. So there's a lawyer there. I mean, we had to get surveys of the land as well as a study by an engineer by how much rainfall would fall in the area and how much water I'd use, because the neighbors didn't want me depleting the aquifer because we're on a well.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's one of those things that you never would think about that you have to do, but it's like, okay, I understand. If I was the neighbor, I don't want a business, basically, sucking dry the aquifer, supplying my house with water. So,
although if you turned all the groundwater into like beer, I mean, that wouldn't be such a bad thing.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you can't make beer because you don't have water.
That's true. Well, you just make beer with the other beer.
Make beer.
That's how they get those double IPAs, right?
Yeah, you make an IPA
with an IPA,
and then you put it back in the
two IPAs together, make the double IPA, right?
Yeah.
So literally, I had to swear under oath of our intentions, and the neighborhood was involved with it. They were in the seats. My next door neighbor had questions. And he was ready. He was prepared to ask me the questions, but we answered everything so thoroughly. So went through the planning committee first, and that was approved unanimously. Then it went to the zoning board, and that was the big one. I mean, they're the ones who are going to make or break us, and that was actually Christmas or Thanksgiving of 2 years ago. Like it took us a year to just at least get the okay from zoning to do what we wanted to do. Yeah.
Speed of government.
Hurry up and wait.
Government. Yeah, pretty much.
So once we finally got approved for that, the plans started going into, me researching equipment. which I did find some local stuff. I did have to buy some new stuff, some used stuff, and kind of just piece it together. I started renovations on the brewery. Boy, what was it? Probably September of last year. September, right around that, because I remember I had to trench the drain or the water line from the house.
Drains. It's always the goddamn drains.
Always the drains.
Because I don't know if you guys ever
Blame it on
dug
the drain.
ever dug a deep hole in this area before. Like, I'm talking deep hole. Like,
I mean, I dug what I thought was a deep hole when I was like
no,
6.
No.
But it probably wasn't very deep.
No. So I had to
I'm
bury.
blame it on the drain.
Blame it on the drain.
Blame it on the drain.
The water line that ran from the house out to the garage, I had to put 36 inches underneath the ground.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about it freezing.
Right.
The frost line is 24,
Yeah, isn't it a lot like
inches.
limestone?
It's
around
shale.
here, shale.
Shale.
Yeah.
So the first.
That's why they frack it, right?
The first. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
We don't know what the frack they're doing.
So the first 12 inches was all topsoil. No big deal. The rest
There's
was
a
just
joke in
all-
there somewhere.
No, there's so many.
I
Sorry.
know. All sexual puns. They're
Yeah.
hilarious.
But that's the easy part, and then you hit.
Then you hit. So I mean, literally had a trencher, and
Yeah.
it was going literally. I think it took me an hour to go about a foot.
Wow.
I think it was rented, so of course, any piece of rented equipment you get, it's dull as shit.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
get people beat the shit out of it, and they
Yeah.
don't fucking care. So we trenched that in, as well as we, for all our wastewater, we have a concrete water holding tank, because I didn't want to tap into the septic tank of the house. Because remember, we're out in the country.
Yeah.
So you have to. Where are we
to
going to
have
put your
your
water?
own, yeah.
So we had to put a 2,000-gallon water tank, concrete tank in the ground. Yeah.
So
had to
you
go
have
6 feet down.
6 feet under.
Yeah, and it all came up, and it's not like it comes up big boulders at a time. It peels apart.
Yeah.
So I was meaning to do this. I was going to bring a couple pieces of shale for you guys. Say, hey, you want a piece of the brewery? Because I have a fucking rock fence.
Throw them down
of
on the
all-
table.
All the shale. In like I have a group of evergreen trees. That's where I just
I have a question, and I realize now that we've never really explored the concept of wastewater on the podcast.
Sure.
I mean, it's definitely come up in passing, but when you mentioned about having to build your own tank,
I just had to dig the hole
dig
for the
the
tank.
hole for the tank,
Right.
So you can't, because of your location. There's no and I don't even know if this is how it would work at other breweries. You can't tap into the sort of municipal public sewage system.
We're in the country.
But only because of where you are.
Correct.
Like normally
Yes.
you could.
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're amongst farm fields. I mean, we're literally in the country. So I didn't want to.
Do you eat a lot of peaches?
Millions of peaches?
Sorry.
No. I stick to the pear trees, the cherry tree, and the 2 apple trees in my backyard.
Oh, that's cool.
There's
that's
no
probably
good songs about those fruits.
No,
though.
but that's probably the best answer you could have had.
Yeah, that's
true.
true. I want to know more about those cherries. So
They're actually good when they come in. I'm gonna start taking on some bees probably next year to help pollinate them.
Oh, cool.
If you ever want to sell any of those cherries,
So there's extra added headaches.
That you could bury someone there.
Yeah, I mean, literally,
Oh,
I
that's- you're
was
looking
just
at the hole.
passing around the picture of the hole that I dug. So I would have to thank my neighbor. He, I was at the bottom. I stood, and it was above my head. And I'm 6 foot.
Oh yeah.
It
So what's the capacity of that then?
it's 2,000 gallons.
2,000 gallons.
So-
it's really hard to.
or how many bodies?
Well, you can put.
how many gallons are in a body?
Depends how finely chopped they are.
That's true.
We have a
It's
question
true.
from the audience.
Oh, all right.
Here, you asked the question.
Yeah.
So you installed the 2,000-gallon tank.
Correct.
So do you have a septic disposal field for that tank, or does it get liquid hauled out?
Yeah, the liquid gets hauled out. It's just a holding tank, so it all gets captured there. And actually, I'm waiting for the alarm to go off at any minute. Like my next brew day, which is probably the alarm's going to go off, and I'm going to have a local septic company come by and just pump it out. Yeah.
So the alternative to that, now I kind of understand what you're saying. The alternative to that is to have you set a field where I guess just an open area where you can just kind of dump it out there?
Well, no, I mean, I could have tied
Put it in the ocean? I mean, who cares?
I could have tied it into the house septic system.
Okay.
But that's on the other side of the house. That's on the front-facing side of the house, and to run the piping work. And I mean, this was the easiest as well as the least expensive way of doing it.
Right.
I have to be very mindful of the wastewater that I do produce.
Yeah.
Where other breweries, it just goes down the drain. We pay the monthly bill, and whatever.
That's it, yeah.
So I'm very cautious of that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's probably the biggest difficulty. But after that, we just had some asphalt in front. I put a new garage door in. We did have a big barn sliding door in the front that I took out, built walls. Basically it was just a pole barn.
Yeah.
What we started from. Half of the floor was concrete. I put drains in. I dug out the stone side, put floor drains in, and poured the concrete floor myself, studded the walls, insulated the walls, sheeted the walls myself. And actually, remember that cold snap we went through last year? Or actually, it was this year, where it was like single digits.
Is that when our heat broke?
Yeah. Oh,
Or
yeah.
was that the year before? That was last year.
I mean, probably both years, let's be honest.
There was,
we're coming up on a year. I think it was like January.
Yeah.
So I worked all day at work. So I got to work usually about 6:30, 7 o'clock, get home about 6 o'clock. So eat dinner, get clothes. I was outside insulating at 6 above.
Oy.
6 above.
That's
Can't tell me I don't want it.
yeah, right. Yeah.
So insulating, sheeting the walls. Put in my own HVAC system. We got a mini split system, so I got heating and air conditioning out there, which is nice.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Literally,
Literally.
it is cool and warm.
Can we drink more beer?
Please.
Yeah, let's
I
drink
think
another beer.
That's a good
I'm
time
sick
to
of
do it.
talking about holes and drains
Yeah.
and concrete. I want beer.
All right, well, let me hit the button and we'll make it official.
Beer me! Beer me! Beer me! Beer me!
Because there is a plethora of beer on the table that is just calling my name.
So, which one do we want to go with?
So we got a stout, a Berliner Weiss, the Saison.
And a Brett Saison.
Yes.
Let's do the oatmeal stout.
No,
Yeah.
messed up. Okay.
Is it on Untapped, or do I have to
Yes,
add
it
this
is.
one too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, this
sweet.
one is. This one will actually be a flagship for us.
What's it called?
It's called Oats and Hose.
Oats. and
I
Oats.
love that name.
Yes.
Did you Google that
Oh,
first?
that is full.
That's what she said.
Wow.
The oat or the hoe?
I don't.
Dealer's
I
choice.
Don't know where we're going right now.
Well, guess who's watching Step Brothers tonight?
Oh, I love that movie.
Oh, it's so good. I can watch it all day, every day.
It's dripping everywhere.
Oh, yeah. So pass it right over the mixer and the computer. That's a good idea.
That's why I moved it around.
No, I was talking about
Oh,
Steph.
he's yelling at me.
That's
I'm
what
talking about
insurance
Steph.
is for. Hello.
We technically have warranty on the mixer. Not the computer. No, you don't have it. We have Apple Care.
I have Apple Care Plus on it, but it would cost like $300.
yeah.
Yeah,
Unless
I
the
don't.
business wants to pay for that.
Just a little insight. I'm sure they're not going to cover beer damage.
No, not unless we got specific podcast insurance.
The problem is, I specifically asked when I got it.
I like how we've all given up on the tasters and we're now pouring into solo cups.
I'm thirsty. All right.
Whatever.
All right. So Oats and Hose.
Yes.
What's the story behind this one? Besides the name comes from
I
sort
gotta
of Step
label the
Brothers.
tablecloth.
Just a simple, easy oatmeal stout. Well, once again, this will be a flagship beer that we'll have on year round. Just easy. I think it's right around 5%. Once again,
Oh, my God.
I can't.
Oh, that's
I can't,
nice.
I can't remember. Just something real simple, easy drinking that you can drink still when it's 100 degrees outside and you want something nice and roasty and toasty. But also, in the cold time as well too. So, and this one has always gone over very, very well when we've gone to beer festivals, things of that nature. So, people love the name as well too. Well, I'll take that back. 99.9% of the time, people love the name. There was that one time, and we won't mention that.
There was that
There was that one
That
time.
was-
Well, there was one person that did not like the name.
Whoever that person is, they're wrong.
Well, whatever.
What I was going to say, as soon as you brought up the name, does anyone else have a beer called that? Because I feel like somebody's had to.
I'm sure it probably is,
Yeah.
and that's probably when I'll get my cease and desist finally.
Yeah, that one,
Finally,
yeah,
yep.
exactly.
I love how you look at it as a badge of honor.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
it's funny.
it's part of the process.
The other
There's
week.
oats in hose.
Oh boy, that's a little worse.
Oh,
That's
oats and hose.
much worse.
5440 Brewing Company. Hemauer. Whoa. Oh, Poor Man's did one.
Oh really?
Oh.
Those guys are cool. They won't care.
No, they won't care. They're cool. Union Brewing Company, Emerson's Brewery. Poor Man has a whole line of oats and hoes, actually.
Oh, now you might be in trouble.
Coconut, oats and ho-ho-hos.
Oats and ho.
That's fucking funny.
That one's good.
This one's getting the approval of the whole room, by the way. Everybody's very impressed.
As well
Beer
it
is
should.
delightful.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It's got like there's the maltiness there, the roastiness, but they're subtle but yet complex.
And it's got a like a perceived sweetness that like dries
And
up right
a
away.
tinge of smoke.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
a tinge.
But then it like sort of dries up. It doesn't. It's like oh, this is gonna taste like a candy bar. No, it's a stout. It's really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I really like this.
I'm not the best at describing beers.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
how to make
you
it.
don't have to
We're
be.
okay at it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, we've been doing it long enough that we can at least like
My,
fake it.
My palate isn't that refined, I don't think.
I haven't said my go-to word in a very long time.
Smooth.
It is very smooth.
It is. You're right. You both said it, not me.
Yeah, this one I think will do very, very well. Once again, it will be a flagship for us. I actually brewed this one already for the grand opening. It's sitting in kegs in the basement right now of the
awesome.
house.
Is the dill beer going to be on?
The dill beer will be on, but I don't think I'm going to go big scale right away with it. Just kind of see.
Fair enough.
We're planning on 12 taps, so I think we're going to have. We'll have them all filled. It's just a matter of how much, what volume we have on each tap of each beer is going to be.
Feel like
determined.
you could do that dill beer with some peppers too. Like
Yeah.
some cayenne peppers would be
Yeah.
nice.
Spicy dill.
Yeah,
Whoa.
spicy dill.
Spicy dill.
Spicy dill.
That's a spicy
Dill
dill.
spice.
Do you? So you have the garage that's the production facility now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think down the road that you will do variations of these beers or like age some of them in, let's just say, barrels?
Oh, we already have barrels aging as we speak. Actually, the first.
How long were we recording before Dan got to barrels?
57 minutes and 30 seconds.
A lot of that was pre-roll.
So the first two runs on the big system, which you got to remember, I have never ran brewed a beer on a big system before. So I'm literally doing it the way I think it should be done.
Yeah.
So you can get this. My first beer that I made on the system was a kettle sour.
Oh, really?
Because I guess I'm that crazy. So ran down to Northeast Barrel, picked up some barrels. So the kettle sour now is aging in a Chardonnay barrel and a I forget. It's a red one.
Some red wine.
Yeah, some red wine.
Yeah.
Pinot Noir.
Yeah. You know what you should do? You should make a Baltic porter and age it in red wine barrels.
If
you
only
could.
that brewery
There's-
would still do that.
I mean, there's a gap in the market. Is all I'm saying.
There's availability.
I mean, of at least one consumer.
And then the second one we just did I did a simple stout, and it's sitting in 2 Members Mark bourbon barrels right now. So I tasted the stout. It still needs a couple months yet.
Hey, if you ever want an outside opinion for tastes along the way, you just let me know.
You're more than welcome to come. It's a long way for just a tasting.
You can also look at the holes in the
worth it.
ground.
I could.
No, those holes
Oh,
were filled.
they're all filled now.
They're all filled.
It's not exciting now. It's all you
It's the
can't see
story of
any
my
of it.
life.
All the holes are filled. That's the story of my life. I'm not sure.
Just go with it.
All right.
I'm restraining myself because
Why?
Well, because that's what she said. All the holes were filled.
Yeah, I mean that's the
Just-
easy
I mean,
one.
like, just why, man?
It's so overused, but yet I still
Yeah.
think it's so damn funny, and
it's
I don't want to.
classic. It's like a fart. It's always funny.
Yeah, but the problem is that I
li-
catch them all the time, and then I just like repeat myself over and over, and it's like enough is enough already.
Fair.
Anyways,
Farts are always fun.
so yeah, we got a couple barrels going. I as well did a French saison that are in the same wine barrels as well too.
Oh,
so
nice.
so those eventually are going to be bottle releases at the tap room. One of the beers we're going to be drinking here in the future will be actually our first bottle release. It's all set to go. It's just aging down in the basement, so we'll get that little teaser for the future.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
As well as there's we just did a collaboration with Gearhouse Brewing in Chambersburg.
I have one of their shirts. I won it at an event. Sorry.
He's
That's
so
I'm
proud of
excited.
that.
I've worn it once.
I won a shirt.
I won it that. I wore it that day.
So we did a chocolate covered cherry stout that actually turned out really really well. We released it for Black Friday, so we'll have 2 kegs of that on tap, as well as we'll have a couple cases of bottles to buy as well too.
That sounds incredible.
It is good. It is really really good. So
I feel like since we're drinking this, we should drink.
Maybe.
this.
You
want to do the Wawa?
I have a point of clarification though,
Yes.
and a query. Can I pre-order one of those bottles of the chocolate cherry stout?
I'll make sure one falls off the back of the truck for you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, not a problem.
Shall we dip into the reserve?
Wawa.
Well, no, I think the winter reserve first.
Yes. Yes, since we are drinking a darker beer, I feel like it would be a good time to break out the secret
The more darker beers.
the secret treasure that you're hoarding over there. A while ago, Wawa did a beer with 2SP, and it was delicious. We had some thanks to I think did you pick it up or did Rich pick it up? It's probably Rich. Thank you for picking that up now and then too.
The fuck.
Because Rich does all the running around for this stuff. He's more dedicated than all of us combined.
Thanks, Rich.
Here, pass it that way first. I'm reading. You made me read. According to Wawa's website, after all the great buzz from 2018's Wawa Winter Reserve Coffee Stout, we've teamed up again with Delco, Pennsylvania's 2SP Brewing Company, to brew a second batch of Winter Reserve Coffee Stout, plus Reserve, an extra special barrel-aged version of Winter Reserve. Now, that one I'm sure we're going to get to later on, because the bottle's over there taunting me. And they're not stopping there. Thanks to an introduction from 2SP Brewing Company, they are producing two new coffee-infused craft beers for our friends and neighbors in Virginia and Florida, which is cool. The other markets are going to get it. By the way, Wawa, when I took a road trip down south in Virginia, sells alcohol, and I saw that a couple of years ago, and it was the craziest thing ever. And now, I find out that's a thing that should be done everywhere. It's just Pennsylvania that's wrong.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but first they're spreading their wings to Richmond to partner with Hardywood Park. Oh, man. They're doing Hardywood Park.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
And then they're flying further south in February to team up with Tampa's Coppertail Brewing Company. So we do have some of the Winter Reserve coming around. And we had this before, and it was great.
Now, I apologize if I kind of glazed over while you were reading the details.
It's okay, I did too.
Is this the exact same beer as last year? Just another batch?
Another batch.
Yeah. So
another batch of this, and then they did the Reserve, and then they're doing
that's
other
a special
beers.
one.
Right.
But this isn't like a different recipe. It's just this
because
year's
the
version.
first batch was so limited that there were lines around the corner at the 2 Wawas that it was available in.
It wasn't so bad this time.
No,
And I
there
think
were still people waiting for
Yeah,
it.
no,
It was
there
a
were.
thing, but it wasn't like it was.
But this is an oatmeal stout. And they used an oatmeal stout because it's balanced sweetness that will showcase the full range of flavors from Wawa's Reserve Winter Blend Coffee, an exclusive 4-origin bean blend sourced from Guatemala, Brazil, Sumatra, and Ethiopia. The seasonal brew boasts flavors of sweet clove, dark chocolate, and graham crackers.
I have a bit of an issue with the can.
What's your issue with the can?
It says waiting is wasting, drink fresh. I don't feel like this is the kind of beer you need to put that on.
Well, I think the coffee flavor might change over time. The
Yeah.
coffee flavor is really, really nice.
It is. in
really
this.
nice.
Yeah.
And I think I really enjoyed that quality last time we had it.
Yeah. And it is. I mean, Wawa coffee's great, but it's also not the first coffee you think about when you think about artisanal coffee that you would make a really nice beer with.
No, but it is the first coffee
No,
I
but
think
this
of
is
when
a
I want a
special
coffee.
blend.
Exactly. Well, and that's what I mean is that it's a damn good beer. It's a damn good coffee beer.
Yeah.
And it has a really nice coffee.
Well,
go
and
to-
if you're going to get someone to brew you a stout, it should be Bob from 2SP.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a great beer. I'm excited to have maybe, should we save this for last call?
Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe.
Show the reserve and last call.
Maybe. We'll see if we can
Is that
hold
like
off
the
that long.
Grand Cru version?
Your eyebrows?
You have to move your eyebrows when you say Grand Cru.
Well, it's not a Grand Cru, but
I know.
I
is it?
understand what you're saying.
It's the same thing, right? It's just a fancy word that means special. Right?
Okay, Wayne.
How long do we think it takes 7-Eleven to do a coffee beer? Because their coffee's terrible.
I don't think they would do a coffee beer. I do think that
Slurpee beer.
Yeah, Slurpee.
Slurpee
beer.
beer.
No,
A
Slurpee beers
Slurpee
have been
milkshake
done. No,
IPA.
that was icy.
They would do a milkshake IPA.
RAR or RAR, whatever.
I'm
they
calling
do a
it
Slurpee beer.
7-Eleven.
icy.
Yeah.
7-Eleven. You think?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
milkshake
that
IPA.
would be actually better as a seltzer than it would a beer.
They'll do a seltzer.
that's-
yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
a bad idea.
No, I don't. I feel like 7-Eleven's not. What
And the gears are
convenience
turning in my
store?
head.
You could do one with Rudders. Aren't they out your way?
Yeah.
Look at his face. Never
Wheels are
mind.
turning.
Well, because Sheets and Wawa are already taken.
But I want to
Turkey
know.
Hill.
So 7-Eleven.
Turkey Hill could be fun.
7-Eleven is definitely the milkshake IPA. What's Turkey Hill?
No, I feel like Turkey Hill would be the milkshake IPA because they make ice cream.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. I don't think 7-Eleven is seltzer though. I feel like there's got to be like a slightly
How about a
more...
Brute IPA? Or are they not cool anymore?
They're probably not.
They're probably not.
I don't even know.
Triple hot pilsner.
I'd be okay with that.
That's fine. But that's still
No,
not...
but
Because it's a macro. It's the macro beer.
But you got to have
macro.
the Slurpee syrup in it. So, I mean,
yeah.
Could it be a Berliner?
no.
Goza?
I think If anything, I mean, let's be honest. If 7-Eleven comes out with a collab beer, it's going to be a fucking malt liquor.
There you go. There it is. You got it.
Oh, my God.
They could have a cool custom brown paper bag to put it in, too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Stamp it.
I'd be down with that.
Well, should we have one more of your beers before we delve into Happy Fun Time?
Do we want to? That will leave only one more of his beers because you only have 4 with you, right?
Correct. That's not including Happy Fun Time game beers as well, too.
So I don't know how you want to divide it.
Whatever you guys want to drink, I don't care.
Because one was yours. Okay, I only saw one label and just assumed they were all.
No. Those are
those the punishment beers?
no. Good Lord, no. Good Lord, no. I mean, I like you guys.
New Glarus
man.
beers.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
aren't punishments. Those are delicious.
I like you guys. I don't like you guys
Well.
that much to be punishment beers.
Okay.
I just brought those along just to drink because
Oh,
I
okay.
love you guys.
Oh.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I just wanted to divide things evenly so we had more than one beer for the last half of the episode.
Cool. Well,
then we can do another one. That's fine.
Let's keep drinking some Oats and Hoes and Wawas, and should we do Happy Fun
Are we
Time
doing
now?
a game? I thought we decided that's
Should we-
not what's happening.
Somebody tell me what to do.
All right, I'm opening the beer.
It's a well-oiled fucking machine
All right,
over
then
here.
I'm
Let me
chugging
tell you.
this.
Okay, actually, we're gonna go with. Let's just go with the straight up. All right. Of course, I had to put wax on this too.
I mean, it looks fancy and looks good.
Yeah, this is our French, base French saison beer that we bottle conditioned with Brettanomyces. So it's been in the bottle for a little while, and
It's coming.
That is what she said.
Listen, it's weirder when you and I say it.
That's fair. I also just want to point out, Dan, I'm sorry. Good luck figuring out how to get to this point for wherever you last cut.
I think I have an idea.
All right.
Good luck to our listeners.
Yeah.
so yeah, this is going to be our first bottle release. We got a couple cases of these that are down in the basement aging. I think they're ready to go right now. Obviously, why I brought it, but
Is this on Untapped?
it is not now. The base beer, the French saison, is. But yeah, we're gonna have to add this one as well too, Steph. Man, you could be busy tonight with all these beers that aren't on.
Does
Untapped.
it have
She
a
could do this
name?
with her eyes closed.
Yeah, it's called Brett Saison. You know how original, right?
What's the ABV?
6.5. I think like 6.5. I think. Like I said,
Those are the same thing. You said it like that was 2 different things. Those are the same thing.
just making sure you're keeping yourself on
Okay.
task here tonight.
6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Whatever. Tomato.
Who says tomato?
Potato.
All right. I'm really excited to try this.
Yeah, I
taking you long.
love this beer, and actually, the base beer, the French saison, is actually probably one of my favorite beers I make. Very very easy drinking beer. Plus, it has all the character of the saison. Probably have the French saison base beer as a flagship on all the time. Real easy beer to make, not too difficult. But we are actually I brewed excuse me our wild saison, which was actually fermented with yeast that we harvested from the brewery.
Oh, cool.
Part of the homebrew club, which I'm a part of, we isolated specific yeast cells and brewed it in separate batches and taste tested, and we came to a conclusion on one of them that tastes most like a saison. So I guess I have my own own yeast strain.
That's cool.
For-
You
yeah.
have a house strain. Yeah.
Yeah, for it, and I mean it's definitely got the saison pepperiness, a little bit of clove to it, but it's got a little bit of funk as well, earthiness to it as well too. So that's that will be released at the grand opening as well too. So that's down in the basement aging as we speak.
So how many beers are you releasing on your grand opening?
Well, like I said, I'm going to have 12 taps, so I plan on having all of them filled.
Right.
Now it's just a matter of what volume we're going to have of each beer is going to be determined because I only have so many kegs.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair enough.
Right. Yeah. Like I said before, that shiny stainless steel is expensive. Mm-hmm. So I think, the flagships will probably have about 4 or 5.
Okay.
And then, I want to do kind of like a research and development series, kind of like Trogue Scratch series. So either feedback from, guests coming in saying, oh, hey, I really would like a Schwartz beer, or hey, I really would like to do whatever.
Do you get a lot of people that say I would really like a Schwartz beer? Because that would be impressive.
They would be right.
No, I just did it for Steph because I know she'd like it.
Okay. I know. Yeah.
But I would like to brew the style as well too.
Yeah.
That way, it keeps people's interest because if you have the same thing over and over and over and over again, people lose interest with that. And I want to make sure I give people a reason. Variety is the spice of life, they say.
Yeah.
But to have the same styles, I mean, time and time again. So if they care for that, great.
Yeah.
But people coming, the one-off beers. I mean, I was kind of kicking around maybe doing the Peep Show again, as well as the Fruity Pebbles beer for grand opening as well too. Maybe. I don't know.
I really like this.
This is really nice.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you.
is really nice. It's sweeter than I expected and less like tart, but it's nice because it goes down real easy, and it has like the complexity of like, the saison and the aging, but without like that. Because you always get because we're all of an age now where like it's amazing to drink like these really nice sour wild fermented beers and all. I'm getting the weirdest look from Dan right now, and all the cool complexity and stuff that comes with it. But they're also very tart and heartburny, and like it gets to a point where it's like you can't do it anymore. But this actually drinks very easy for this style and for the amount of things that are going on with it.
Yeah, I don't want to feel like I need Tums after drinking a beer. Absolutely. And that's I said it before and I'll say it again. Whenever Brett is involved, I just maybe it's PTSD a little bit. I clench up. Like I'm going to try it, of course, but this is it's a very subtle addition and it rounds out the flavor so well.
It has a nice dryness to it, but it still has a nice sweetness that comes in the beginning.
Maybe this is just me. I could see this being something worth popping midnight New Year's Eve.
Wow.
That is what she said.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to talk anymore.
yeah, I mean, obviously it's good enough to drink whenever, but it's to save for a special occasion.
Yeah,
like New Year's.
it's good. I love drinking this right now. I would love drinking it at any point, but I feel like this would be the perfect one because I'm not big into champagne. I'm not fancy enough for that shit. This is a delicious beer that would ring in the new year in such a great way. And maybe I'm just thinking a couple weeks into the future, or past, depending on how time works.
Did you say something worth popping?
Yeah.
I'm tweeting that.
God damn it. Done.
Can we play a game now?
Is that what we're doing? Oh man,
Is this where we transition to the game?
I don't even know.
Sure, Wayne. Do your thing.
Good luck, Dan.
Cheers.
Just gonna release this raw,
Oh wow!
Oh,
don't
God,
ever do that.
Don't do that. Don't ever.
minus the.
Okay.
Cheers,
Thanks.
internet.
Thank you.
And welcome to Happy Fun Time Games, the podcast trivia segment whose refrigerator is always running. Today, we are playing a tried and true Happy Fun Time game, Libation or Fabrication. But you may remember 2 episodes ago at Love City, we played a version of Liberfab, as the cool kids call it,
Wow.
with some of the best beer names from GABF 2019.
Live or fab. I'm gonna tweet it.
So if you don't remember, the good folks over at porchdrinking.com helpfully curated a list of some of the wittiest brews found at the Colorado Convention Center this year. And it was a very long list, and I barely got to scratch the surface. So today, I present to you Libation or Fabrication, GABF 2019 edition, Part 2, The Revenge, based on a true story. So you know how this game works. I'm going to give you the name of a beer. You have to tell me if it's real or fake. All the real beers came from the Great American Beer Fest 2019, which happened just a few months ago. Also remember, nobody gets shit for winning, but if you lose, you will get punished. And today's punishment beers have been provided by our guest, Brooks. I have no idea what they are. Would you like to tell the good listening folks out there in podcast land what the punishment will be?
Sure. So one of the beers I have is a beer actually of mine. It is, I think, the third beer I've ever brewed before. It's a clone of Mad Elf.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it on Untapped?
No, it's not on Untapped.
Do you use the word clone loosely?
Well, it's a Belgian beer. It's really boozy, and it has cherries, so I guess it's close enough.
Okay.
Were the cherries sourced from your cherry tree?
Negative. No,
Okay.
they were not. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is back when I was just starting out brewing on the kitchen stove. And actually, when we finally got our license, I actually drank 2 of these.
Yeah.
Just because I was pretty much drinking anything under the table, anything on the table, just because I was so damn happy. So, and then the second beer is actually, there's a little bit of the backstory. So it's 2 cans of Coors Light. So the story goes, I believe it's 4 or 5 years ago. My wife and I take our boys in a specific neighborhood. A good friend of my wife. Kids are the same age for trick or treating. So go trick or treating with the kids. And one of the houses, the dad was drinking a Coors Light, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, you want a treat?" I'm like, "Sure," thinking it's a candy bar or something. Like, so he runs into the garage, comes back with these 2 cans of Coors Light. I'm like, "Oh shit." What do? Do I be a total beer snob and give them back to him, say thanks for the offer? Or do I just take them and put them in the stroller? And so they've been living at the back of the refrigerator for 5 years.
Holy shit.
5-year-old Coors Light and your third homebrewed beer, which is an attempt at a clone of Mad Elf.
Yeah. Figuring it's this time of year. I think it's
appropriate.
12-13% alcohol.
Oh my God.
It's boozy as can be.
So that's the punishment. Maybe we'll mix them together. I don't know.
Sure, why not?
Oh, that'd be weird.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But thank you so much for providing the punishment. So let's get on with libation or fabrication. Dan, to my left, you're going to go first. Tell me, is this beer real or fake? This beer is called Thomas the Dank Engine.
Oh, God.
Do we have to guess the beer style for extra credit?
It's a New England IPA.
Yeah, that one's probably pretty easy.
I'm going to go real.
Dan is going real. Steph? Sure.
Does the basement wants to play?
The patrons want to play.
Sure.
Do you guys want to?
Hey,
Come to a microphone.
You have
we
to
do the-
collaborate.
Yeah, the patrons get one
You have to
collaborative
come
answer.
to a beer buster.
and pick-
Oh, you have to collaborate as the basement.
Yeah, it's like 12 angry men, but it's 12 drunk
Okay,
patrons.
I think Ron is the drunkest, so I'm going to say Ron is the speaker of the basement. Ron, you have to come to my microphone, and you have to tell me what they think.
All right. Well, while they're
I'm gonna say
deliberating,
real.
Steph is saying real. Finally, Brooks.
I'm saying real, like a double West Coast IPA.
All right, let's go. It's time.
All right. What are the patrons voting? Thomas the Dank Engine.
Uh-oh.
Well, Rich says thumbs up, so I'm going to go with Rich, and we're going to say real.
Does that what thumbs up mean? Does that mean real? Okay.
Sure,
So we're going real.
We all said real.
We all said real. I added another column to my scoreboard. Everybody is correct, including the patrons. It is real.
Okay.
It is a 6% ABV New England IPA.
Of course it is.
Yeah, of course it is. From Sidetracked Brewery in Morganton, North Carolina. This New England IPA utilizes grains, yeast, and processes developed through years of experimentation by their head brewer to highlight the absolute essence of the flavor and aroma of fruity New World hops added entirely post-boil and in fermentation.
That's where Fontaflora is.
Hashtag buzzwords.
I've been to Morganton.
Oh, yeah? Morganton.
Borrington?
Borington.
No, Fontaflora is worth the boring.
So everybody off to a good start, including the patrons. That one was real. Moving on to our next beer of the game, and Steph is going to guess first on this one. Our next beer is called Tropic Like It's Hot.
Oh, that's fabulous. That better be real.
Fabulous. It better be real. Brooks?
If someone didn't name it, I'm definitely claiming it. So yes, I'm going real.
Going real. Dan, what do you
I'm
think?
very proud if you did a Snoop Dogg reference.
I will say real.
Dan
Patron.
says real. Decision in the room. Patrons. Patrons.
Rich gave a double thumbs up.
Consensus of the patrons is it's real.
Everybody saying real. Again, everybody is correct. That one is also real. It also comes in a peach mango guava version.
Of
Ooh.
course.
Yeah.
Why not?
Interestingly,
what's that name?
It's called Tropic Like It's Hot,
But peach mango.
guava.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's a 6% ABV New England IPA from Landlocked Ales in Lakewood, Colorado. However, it is also the name of a beer from Hardywood Park. Their Tropic Like It's Hot is a sour ale with dragon fruit, blueberry, passion fruit, and pineapple. And that one was brewed in collaboration with Virginia Pride. So there you go. The more you know. Moving on to our next beer of the game, and Brooks is going to guess first on this one. Our next one is called Sell the Kids for Booze.
Wow. Sell the kids for booze. Tempting. Oh, no. The beer. I'm thought.
You probably get a lot of booze.
Better be.
I mean, depends what skills they have.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go with false on that one. I don't think it's real.
All right, going false, Dan.
I will say fake as well.
Also saying fake.
My gut is saying fake also.
Your gut is saying fake. What is the patron's gut saying collectively?
Fabrication.
Everybody's saying fabrication. Everybody on a fucking roll.
Oh, shit.
That is fake. It's
Well,
just
Brooks did win a German sparkle party.
Yeah.
This would be like
yeah.
the ultimate German sparkle party if we all get.
yeah,
We
I
all
know,
win
right?
and we all lose.
German Sparkle Bukkake. That is not a real beer. It's just a Nirvana pun. That name would never get approved by anyone anywhere in the history of the world. Moving on to our next beer, and we're back around to Dan to guess first on this one. This one is called Winston Church Ale.
Oh, that's got to be real.
Saying that is real, Steph.
I'll say real.
Also saying real, Brooks.
Yeah, I can see English Pub, the old beer engine, ESB or something like that. Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right,
real.
saying real.
Definitely libation.
Saying real as well. Once again, everyone is correct. It is, in fact,
shit!
real. This is too easy
Is
this
the world
time.
going to end or?
Probably.
Yeah. All right, let's guess the style. You say an ESB?
Yeah,
An old
ESB.
style, English
I'll
style?
say
bitter.
English mild.
English mild, Dan?
What was the name again?
What's church ale?
The most
Winston-
well-known prime minister of the UK that there has ever been.
Boris Johnson.
Yes, Vladimir Putin.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Hey, we said we're going to keep politics out of this, please.
I don't remember
You
saying
didn't
that.
say president. Man, I'm going to say mild.
It's a golden ale.
Ron said IPA.
Well, you were wrong too. It is a 5.4% ABV golden ale from Halfpenny Brewing Company in Centennial, Colorado. This was at GABF, but there's actually not that much information on the internet, at least that a cursory Google search found. But the brewery, named Halfpenny, got its name because the two founders, who are both named Chris, decided that they were going to open a brewery before they turned 50, which is a half century. Eventually that became half cent, and finally half penny, because it also pays homage to their love of traditional English and German beers. So there you go. That's where they got the name from. Sparkle Party is still in full effect. And we're going to swing back around to Steph to guess first on the next beer of the game. The next beer is called Trials and Tribulations.
I'll say real.
Steph is saying that is real. Brooks
It's got to be real.
saying it's got to be real. Dan?
I'm going fake.
Ooh, this is the first time anyone has guessed differently.
So the patrons are also on the fabrication side.
Oh, okay. Patrons are saying fake. Dan and the patrons are correct.
Oh, shit.
It's fake. It's fake. I thought that was going to be
Them's
easy.
my peeps.
Them's
Them's
my-
my peeps.
Oh, shit.
All right,
In the
write
house.
that down so I can use that.
Trials and Tribulations. It's been recorded for all of time on the internet. I actually thought that one was going to be a little easier to sniff out because it is a bit of a stretch as a pun. But the word tribulations, which
Yeah.
isn't a word, obviously, but it's unfortunately a common misspelling of the actual word tribulations. Some of those misspellings have made it to certain levels of publication. There is a book called What the Hell Was That? The Trials and Tribulations of an English Ghost Hunter in the USA, which is available as an ebook on Amazon for free. There is also a pretty terrible poem about Jesus by some guy named Butch that is entitled, I assume erroneously, Trials and Tribulations. That's how it's written. Moving on to our next beer of the game, and I think we're on Brooks to guess first on this one. We are.
Yes.
Our next beer is called Achy Hazy Heart.
Now, if someone busts out freaking line dancing to this one, we may have troubles. No, that's not real. No way.
All right, Brooks is saying that is fake, Dan.
I'm gonna go fake.
Dan also going fake. Steph?
I think it's real.
Ooh, Steph
shit.
thinks it's real, patrons.
Patrons are with Steph. We're saying it's real.
Oh, the patrons and Steph are wrong. Because it's not. It's fake. Surprisingly, no one has scraped the bottom of the barrel of the hazy puns to come up with Achy Hazy Heart.
Now, do you need a mullet to drink it?
I mean, it helps.
Well, it couldn't hurt.
I mean, it helps in all situations, really, to have a mullet.
It doesn't though.
I think it does.
Well, it depends. If you call it a moulet, it's
Moulet.
It's fancy.
Moulet. I've never heard it called a moulet. I like moulet.
Come on, movie reference. That's Joe Dirt.
Oh my God.
Oh, I haven't seen that in gotta be 10 years.
Wow.
See, this is the stuff I can remember. I can't remember my
Joe
wife.
fucking Dirt.
I can't remember my wife's birthday, let alone.
I don't think the movie Joe Dirt has ever come up on the podcast before. 184 episodes. That's the first time.
I'm gonna take a stab. Is it June 15th?
No, it is not.
Damn it. All right.
January 3rd.
Nope.
Steph?
This is the new game? So we're playing now?
No, I'm
Guess
not
Brooks'
playing.
anniversary
Guess-
dates.
No,
It was her birthday.
Oh, birthday.
Yeah.
It was birthday, not anniversary. I'm sorry.
no, his anniversary is November 1st. That I remember.
That.
All right.
Yes.
That I do remember.
All right, guys. I'm
What
gonna
year?
do some math right now, but
no,
I need
I don't.
I need a little more Hellas. Is there any more in there?
There's a little bit left. There's
All
a
right.
shot for you.
I want to kill off the Hellas
Kill it.
before I do this addition. So we have one more beer in the game. So this is the point at which I'm going to let everyone know where the scores stand, so we know what is on the line. Now this is. I mean, we just met and this is crazy. Dan has 6 out of 6, perfect score so far.
Cheater.
Steph has 4.
I'm just jealous.
Brooks has 5, and the patrons have 5. So Steph is really in trouble for being punished.
FML.
Brooks and the patrons, I guess the patrons can be punished too.
4
now.
out of 6 is
Absolutely.
a fucking good score.
Yeah, but
Could be a band, Brooks and the Patrons.
not if it's the worst score in the room. That's what counts. So since Steph has the lowest score, we're going to let her go last. Since
Wow.
Dan has the highest score, he's going to go first. Our last beer of the game is called I Did It All for the Cookie.
God damn it.
Oh.
That's gotta be fucking real.
Dan is saying that is real, Brooks.
It's got to be real.
Gotta be. Gotta be. Gotta
It
got it.
has to be.
All right. All right. Brooks and Dan both saying real.
Go Fred Durst.
Dan.
Brooks and Dan. Patrons?
The patrons say real.
Patrons say
I have
real.
to say fake. That's my only chance.
I mean, yeah, you're right. You're going to say fake?
I have to.
Well, you lose. It is real.
Fuck all y'all.
It is a 9% ABV Imperial Brown Ale from 50/50 Brewing in Truckee, California.
What the fuck is Truckee, California?
Hey.
Don't say California.
On the West Coast.
Hit the sounder.
Hold on. I got to tell you about the beer.
I'm all antsy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, cart before the horse. This delicious brew took home the bronze medal at GABF this year
In
the
shitty names?
specialty ale category. That should be a medal.
What is it like? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh.
No. Yeah, feel free.
Oh, no. I'm like, what is it? Like an Oreo cookie stout or something?
I'm about to tell you.
I know, and that's why I feel bad because I interrupted you.
The Nookie.
Don't
Come
ever
on.
apologize for interrupting on a podcast.
No, that's how we do it. It is a chocolate and hot dog flavored. No, that's not true. It's an
Chocolate starfish.
It's an imperial brown ale brewed with cinnamon, raisins, and brown sugar, and then aged in bourbon barrels for 6 months. Basically, a boozy homemade oatmeal cookie in a glass.
Kind of want to try it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it would taste pretty good for a couple sips.
Who's going to be the first one for the hot dog?
Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe is apparently in Truckee.
Okay.
Also, the National Truckers Museum. So Dan has a perfect goddamn score.
I don't know how the fuck that happened.
Yeah, so we're going to add the points real quick here.
I'm not cheating.
Brooks has 6 out of 7. Patrons, 6 out of 7. Steph, at the bottom, getting punished with only 4 out of 7. So no German sparkle party. I'm sorry.
I like German sparkle party.
I mean,
It was just because Brooks wanted to hear it.
just for fun. So yeah, Steph's gonna get punished
You got it.
in last call.
That'd be if there was.
Oh, the whole room.
Has to be a 3-way tie.
Oh,
We got 2 6s,
sorry.
a 7, and a 4.
I'm still new to this. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Hey man,
This is how you learn.
Hey,
the stars
gotta
don't always
remember,
lie.
I'm just used to 10 minutes maybe in a
That's
podcast.
true.
That's
So
true.
I'm way
This is
on
all.
overtime.
This is all very different.
Yes.
This is all very different. So yeah, stick around for the punishment. If you're a patron on Patreon or become a patron on Patreon to see the punishment, we're gonna film it. We're gonna make Steph drink something gross. It's always fun when it's Steph because she hates doing this kind of shit. Become a patron on Patreon. Also, you get to listen to Last Call. But this is, of course, the part of the podcast, speaking of patrons, where we shout out to our most generous patrons on Patreon. We would like to thank very sincerely the following individuals: James Lamberg,
It's nice and thick.
Joe Mansell, Jill Chivers,
I love the taste that's still in my mouth.
Sean Sullivan,
Gonna go back in time.
PA Brew Review,
Lawyered.
Mark Modugno.
Who wants a fresh tickle?
Wait, what?
You heard it.
Lavante!
That was a good one. Topher Simmons,
Clams?
Poor Man's Brewing Company,
Baby steps.
Kathy Obashevsky,
Sweet baby Jesus.
Eric Dixon,
I like hands.
Nate Fochtman, Oh Black Lager, keep on rolling, Brian Mills. I also like whale sperm. Wolfgang Von Colt,
I'm 3 for 3.
Jen McDonald,
Wait a fucking minute!
Marilyn Engelman,
That's a 10 for you, buddy.
Josh Price,
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever let you down.
Ron McDonald,
Filled with yummy goodness.
and Victoria Miles. If you want to find out how to become part of that
Wait,
list.
Vicky didn't get a thing.
Oh, Victoria Miles.
Oh, whoop.
There we go. Are we done now?
I don't even know what I hit. I just was angry at you. I was glaring at you.
I was angry and
I was
glaring.
angry at you.
Yeah, go to patreon.com/beerbusters and get all the cool stuff we talked about. But Dan, what do we do now?
Gotta settle up.
Go back in time.
Say, Yvonne, remember when I said I'd have to send away to NASA to calculate your bar tab?
Oh, yeah. We all had a good laugh, Mo.
The results came back today. You owe me $70 billion.
As somebody with a bad back, I certainly appreciate a good night's sleep. And that's why I want to tell you, the good listeners of Beer Busters, about Casper. Casper is an obsessively engineered mattress at shockingly fair prices. It's got just the right sink and just the right bounce. There's 2 technologies. It is made from latex foam and memory foam. They come together for a life well slept. You get your risk-free trial and a return-free policy, and you can try Casper for 100 days, all with free shipping, painless returns, and you can get $50 towards any mattress purchase by going to CasperTrial.com/beerbusters and using the promo code 50SLEEP, 50SLEEP. Terms and conditions do apply.
No, your beers. No, your beers.
Steph, what do you got?
I was so excited when I saw that he was bringing an oatmeal stout.
And it's fucking great.
It's delicious.
I'm
I think
still
it's
drinking it.
It's my favorite beer of the night so far. Oatmeal stouts
some
have a
left.
uniquely smooth texture, rich roasted chocolate flavors, and an English seasonal variant of a sweet stout that is usually less sweet than the original. Oatmeal stouts rely on an oatmeal for body and complexity rather than lactose for body and sweetness. I'm kind of drunk already. This is going to be a shit show. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just
Let's
telling
get it
you.
started.
This is what happens when the guest gets here an hour and a half before you bitches, and I've already been drinking.
Sorry for being punctual.
Blame Dennis.
The style
Fucking Dennis.
The style was brewed through the 1950s in England, but lost popularity and eventually became extinct. Samuel Smith's brewery of Yorkshire brought it back in production in 1980. Subsequently, more and more breweries and microbreweries have offered their own versions of oatmeal stout, including Young's Anderson Valley, and Breckenridge, to name a few. The aroma is mild roasted grain aromas with coffee-like characters. Light sweetness can imply coffee and cream impression. Medium brown to black in color. They are thick, creamy, with a persistent tan to brown colored head.
Continue.
Are you done?
Mm-hmm.
Medium sweet to medium dry palate with the complexity of oats and dark roasted grains are present. Oh, the oats can add a nutty, grainy, or earthy flavor. Dark grains can combine with malt sweetness to give the impression of milk chocolate or coffee with cream. Medium to full body, smooth, silky, sometimes an almost oily slickness from the oatmeal. A dark, full-bodied, roasty, malty ale with complementary oatmeal flavor. And I found a list of the top 18... Go the fuck away. There's an ad. The top 18 oatmeal stouts that you should try, apparently. Breckenridge Brewery's Oatmeal Stout, Upslope Brewing's Oatmeal Stout, Rogue Ale's Shakespeare Oatmeal Stout, Alaskan Brewing Oatmeal Stout, New Holland, The Poet, Maplewood Fat Pug, the St. Louis Brewery Oatmeal Stout, Terrapin Brewing Cinnamon Rolled Wake and Bake. I don't like that beer. Anderson Valley Barney Flats Oatmeal Stout, McKellar Beer Geek Breakfast, Alaskan Stout, Great Divide Oatmeal Yeti, Verboten Pure Imagination, Firestone Walker, Velvet. Oh yeah.
Merlin.
Merkin. That beer is fucking amazing. So there you go. I love oatmeal stouts.
And mine too.
Yeah, you didn't mention Hemauer.
Well, that's what inspired this whole thing. And
Oats and Hose.
His oats and hose are fucking amazing. I've never had poor man's oats and hose, but I'll try theirs too.
Also, a note that that name may change in the future. So if you're looking for this beer, maybe it's under a different name.
Maybe
now.
Or maybe have just a little asterisk or something else behind it. Or
the beer formerly known as Oats and Hose.
Yeah, you go. Or Hose and Oats.
Or hose and oats. Oh.
Because I am
Oats.
I am kind of dyslexic, so I guess that would work.
There you go.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember if I am or not.
What the hell is going on?
See, no, that's
I
the
know,
wrong
right?
way.
I'm pretty sure.
What the hell is going on?
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 Fuck you.
Or what the hell is going on out here? The old Vince Lombardi.
I don't know
What the
that
hell
means.
is going? I gotta remember I'm a Packers fan, so
All right,
there's very clear NFL films where he's
Football.
standing on the sideline saying, "What the hell is going on out here?"
Green Bay Packers.
What the hell?
Can we drink more beer?
What the hell is he talking about?
Damn it!
Round two, fight! I love when we talk over this shit.
I'm probably going to leave that in, to be honest.
Everyone was kung
Why
fu
not?
fighting.
Everybody was kung fu drinking.
Did you hear Ron?
What did Ron say? What you talking about, Hellas? I like that.
I like that. That's really good.
That's pretty good.
What?
You got to remember, I look at things a little bit differently than you guys. You guys think, "Oh yeah, that's funny and hilarious." Some people in the world we live in nowadays may come off as a little racist.
What you talking about, Hellas?
So, what is the final Hemauer beer of the evening?
So this would be our pink guava Berliner Weiss.
Is it on Untapped?
It is not on Untapped.
Fuck. What's the ABV?
Like 3.9, I think.
Well, that's what it is now.
3.3, 3.9, something.
You need to act more confident in your answer.
Like I said, you ask me what the square footage on ceiling tiles is, I can tell you that because that's all I've been dealing
What
with.
is the square footage of ceiling tiles?
If you get something like this, the Anderson, you're looking roughly about $275 a square foot.
Are you talking? What does that number mean? Are you talking about price?
Yes.
Oh, $2.75
$0.75 per square foot.
per square foot. The Anderson? Or is this the Anderson?
It's typical, I would imagine, probably an Anderson. It's very popular.
And what makes it an Anderson? The pattern of the
They're the most most produced ceiling tile that's out
the
there.
NURBS and Greebles.
Something like that. I don't think these are the ones that are good to throw pencils in because they don't grab them as.
Wow.
I don't know.
So
I'm just making that
bad
shit.
pencil throwing ceiling tiles.
Something, I don't know. Or
What
pen.
is the average airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
African or European?
I don't know.
That is the correct answer.
And the patron said it before you. Berliner Weiss is not a style on Untapped.
Really?
Sure. It's
Is it Berliner style Weiss beer or something like that?
I love the aroma of this.
What's
It's under sour.
Yeah, there you
Berliner
go.
Weiss.
Because I know I have the Berliner Weiss, the Swedish fish Berliner Weiss I make is
Yes.
on there. Which I should have
Oh,
brought.
wow.
Oh.
There's so many
Oh.
half thoughts that I have, but nothing's coming out.
But it's delicate.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
not like in your face.
No, it's not.
Which I'm really excited about.
It's not. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not super strong and sharp. It's very grapefruity. But
Yeah, I
without
mean-
the sting, without the sting, like sweet grapefruit almost.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have a Blender Weiss on all the time with variant fruit with it, various. Obviously I pick pink guava. I'm kind of going through some purees right now to see what I like best, what I like working with on a small scale, which I'm very happy with what I received here. Probably do a mango one here eventually, maybe a cranberry. But once again, this is the same base style beer, but then you can make it 20 different ways and be something new every single time. So, just pink guava. Haven't worked with it before. I like it a lot. Turned out very, very well.
I would agree with that statement. I think it's delicious.
You can drink a ton of it and you don't get necessarily drunk too quickly.
Or you just get drunk and then you just drink this to maintain the buzz.
Yeah, that would work as well too.
Right?
Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice.
You look perplexed.
There's a lot of words that I'm trying to formulate. It's delicious. I love it. But I'm trying
Well,
to.
that's pretty easy.
No, in my head, I'm trying to elaborate on that because I want to say more about it, but I don't know where to start.
I think the flavor is on point, but I just love the restraint. I was
Yeah,
expecting
it
it
is.
when you hear what it is and you smell it. You expect
You
that
think
it's
it's
going to
gonna
be
be
way more
yeah, it's gonna
intense and
punch
like
in your face
jowly
of the.
And
it's
it's
not.
really not. It's very
It's delicate,
delicate is the best word.
but
yeah.
flavorful.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't want delicate to come across as a negative adjective. It's really good.
Could be the tagline for the beer. Delicate but flavorful.
Delicate, but flavorful.
Oh my God.
Share
pH
and
balanced.
enjoy.
For
Strong enough for,
Yeah.
for a man, made for a woman. Strong enough for a woman, made for a man. Let's flip the roles.
Yeah.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah, it is really nice.
You have a question?
A question from
Question.
the gallery.
Audience question.
You know how this works. Come on to the microphone.
Oh, now that you have the big brewing equipment, but you're still talking about experimentation. When you experiment, are you using your homebrew equipment? And if so, what's the volume and how hard is it to transfer that small volume to your new big equipment?
He said, "How hard is it?"
Wow. We're really reaching now, guys.
Multi-part question.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so first part of the question, yes, I am using the homebrew equipment. I do have capabilities. It depends on style. For the higher alcohol content, I can't fit as much grain as the lower alcohol. I can get away with some stuff. The oatmeal stout, the oats and hose, I can do a 10-gallon batch on it, and really, it's actually pretty easy nowadays with all the computer software is to scale up to the pro brewing level. Years and years ago, before the computer software, I mean, that's all calculations and stuff like that. But it's pretty easy nowadays that the software and the information that's out there. Now, with that being said, things don't, I don't say transfer properly, but it's not like cooking where you want to triple a batch. It's just 3 times everything. With the different systems, things react differently. So, one thing is your hop utilization. On the big scale, your hop utilization is so much more. So basically you get more of that bitterness from less amount of hops. So you put in the same amount of hops, just scale it up, it'll be way, way too bitter. And this is the part where the process that we're going through is, have the production facility open first, brewing these first couple batches. I can refine the recipes right from the get-go, even before we're open for business in the tap room. One thing that I've always learned whenever I go to a new brewery, first time I go, I give them a pass. Basically I'll try their stuff. And most of the time, at least for my palate, it's always way too bitter, especially IPAs. So I give them the first time I give them a pass. I give them three months. So that should be at least time for them to refine their recipes in order to dial it in. Now, if it's the same the second time around from the first, then I'll reach my verdict of what I think of the brewery. But the first time, I'll give them a pass. I don't want that with my brewery. I want to be up and running, ready to go, the best recipes right from the get-go. So I think it's really an advantage that I have, several brew days under my belt to refine those recipes for our grand opening.
It's sort of a proving ground. And you've been, like we talked about, taking your beers around to fests for years and built a following. So I think it's really a good strategy to sort of start like you have, taking your time to sort of not only like develop the beers and develop the recipes, but also develop the brand and the name and like what it stands for. And
no, I would completely agree because, if I had millions and millions of dollars, we would have been open 3 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
Just keep throwing money at the deal. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you're not going to succeed in business based, because you have the money. It gives you that false sense of security where, I don't have millions of dollars in the bank and, we have a couple bad months, we could be in trouble. So really there's no way of going other than success. And that's why I want to make sure the foundation is set, it's solid, and we can build from there.
Yeah. And we talk a lot about in the podcast how the process from like deciding that, yes, you're going to do this, you're going to open a brewery, to actually opening the brewery is often long and hard and full of struggles. That's what she said. But I also feel like the flip side of that is that, there's a new brewery. Breweries are like Starbucks. Mm-hmm. There's one opening on every corner every other day. And so there is sort of this perception, well, I've homebrewed for 5 years. I've homebrewed for 2 years. I've homebrewed, and all my friends and family say it's great. So I'm going to go ahead and open a brewery. And I think there's a bit of recklessness, for lack of a better word. And I mean, this has come up before. We've talked about it before. And it's interesting to hear you talk about really taking the time and the patience to sort of get everything right before you essentially open the floodgates before you the floodgates. But to actually go through the process of building out what your brewery is going to be, what your beer is going to be. And I wonder, I don't know how many people that are sort of going through the same thing, that are opening breweries. I'm sure you've talked to people that have opened breweries. Do you feel like there's sort of a reaction to the oversaturation of the market where people are starting to be a little more careful when planning new breweries?
I don't know. I mean, there's going to be a new wave of people opening up here soon. I mean, obviously ourselves, Derek Wolf, he's going to be right down the road from us. He's going to be opening next year probably at some point. You have the Harris boys in Harrisburg. Other than that, at least myself, I don't really know of that other, than the three of us in at least in the Harrisburg area that are coming to fruition. Now, granted, there may be other people that are not so out there, so to speak, in the homebrew community as well as the professional community of, hey, here's our intentions for it. So, ultimately, yes, you have to be concerned about the saturation point. To me, hey, competition, bring it on. I love competition because that makes my product better. Yeah. But as well as, with that saturation point, it really comes down to ultimately how you run your business. Yeah. It's easy for everyone to get wrapped up in the beer. Yeah. I do myself as well too. This is my bread and butter. This is how I put food on the table for my family. This is how I pay the mortgage. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I need to be a better businessman than I need to be a brewer. Now, I want to be known as doing both very, very well. Mm-hmm. But, you have to remind yourself it is a business, and you have to be able to pay your bills because I don't care how good the beer is. Yeah. If you take on a ton of debt or you just don't know how to run a business properly and have the big goal in mind.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point. As soon as you said, I don't care how good the beer is, my response was, if nobody's buying it. But even if people are buying it, you can still run the business into the ground.
Absolutely.
If you don't know what you're doing.
And that's where I think where the saturation point is really going to hit some breweries very, very hard that have made the investment, i.e., tons and tons of debt because they write these projections. Okay, here's where we're at. And this is where we're going to be. And banks are like, yes, breweries.
Well, and that makes me think of something really interesting. Is that like, I feel like when you started planning this 3, 4, 5 years ago, when the germ started to to the point where it started to become something serious, and when you started taking beers to fests and stuff, that was sort of, I feel like, the end of a phase where, like, I feel like there are breweries that opened 10, 15 or more years ago that are kind of like safe because they've established themselves and they've made a name for themselves. And then there's another wave of breweries when like everybody was hopping on the bandwagon, but the market was there was still enough opportunity that they could all sort of carve out a niche.
Mm-hmm.
And things have gotten more and more cutthroat. And I feel like even in the time from when you started planning this to opening, the market has really evolved.
Yeah.
And I mean, what do you think about how you're going to be successful and establish and survive when opening a brewery now is different than it was when you started this process?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of big decisions you have to make as a business owner. One question I always ask myself with any decision I make is, how will this affect the beer?
Yeah.
How will this decision affect the beer? Now, can I think, years down the road, yes, this may not affect it at any point, but I also have to think, okay, well, will this affect people coming into my business?
Yeah.
In that way, it will affect the beer because obviously that will, based upon how much we produce, how much we sell, things of that nature. So I think it's more so you're getting the business type, I would think, into this type of community that, they may be more business-centric than they are brewing-centric, which, I said I want to be known for doing both very, very well. Maybe so if I'm okay with maybe being a better businessman than I am a brewer, because ultimately at the end of the day, my goal is to build this business to the point where I'm not the brewer anymore.
Yeah.
Where I have to turn the keys to the brew house over to someone else, which will fucking kill me. Will fucking kill me. That's probably going to be one of the hardest things I ever have to do, mainly because this is my baby.
Yeah.
I built this from nothing. And I'm going to rely and trust someone to have the same passion, the same work ethic, as well to not only maintain the high level that I expect for this business, if not to increase it exponentially as well too. So, I mean, there's so much that goes on into, the brewing business that, a lot of the times we don't talk about because we want to talk about the latest and greatest hazy IPA stuff.
Yeah.
Or XYZ beer, or the new style, things like
Nobody
that.
ever wants to talk about the fucking drains.
Well, yeah, right. But I mean, to me as well too. There's times I would rather just sit down and talk with another brewery owner, and it's like, hey, I got this going on, and I have to send all my praise out there, prayers out to the Brewers of Pennsylvania. They have helped me out tremendously. All the guys involved with that, and ladies as well too, as well as Gearhouse Brewing in Chambersburg has David and Aaron and Van and Heather have been amazing, helping me out.
Dan has one of their shirts.
Yes, I know. I know. So. And another thing with the process we've gone through is that I can learn each individual step time by time. Case in point, all my reporting for the state as well as the federal government. So if I would have been throwing basically everything all at once, so I got the tap room open, full kitchen, production. I'm trying to make payroll. I'm trying to do proper staffing, ordering, things like that. Well, now I got to do my reporting. How much do we produce? How much do we sell?
Yeah.
the process which I'm going through, I can learn that individually, so that way it's all set, ready to go.
Yeah, but there's sort of a trade-off because can we open one of the New Glarus beers?
I was going to say this might be a good
Whatever
time
one
to
you
do
want.
that.
Let's do it.
All right. So Brooks was kind enough to also bring a couple of beers from the wonderful New Glarus.
Because he's from Wisconsin.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And the
I'm
second
sure we've
best
talked
thing
about that
from
before.
Wisconsin is New Glarus.
The second best thing. The
first is Brooks.
Of course.
Hemauer.
Oh, I was going to say the Packers, but or the Badgers or the Brewers.
Is Green Bay in Wisconsin?
Oh my
Yes.
God, are
Yes,
you
it
for
is.
real?
Yeah.
I used to think you were smart.
What I like about what he said is you want to you want to give the keys to somebody else to be the brewer. You want to
Correct.
see it grow into that. One, that gives you time to come to terms with the fact that you're going to do that. And two, that lets you create the list along the way. Little things that pop up that say, I want somebody to do this, to do this, to do this. But it also brings about a better system of vetting somebody because you have that in mind. It's not going to come at some point blindside you and say, I just can't do this anymore. I need somebody to do it for me. You're planning for that. So you know
Right.
exactly what you're looking for, which is a huge bonus, I think.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, I can start right from the get-go of looking for individuals,
Right.
going through whether they're just a server at the tap room or, a busboy at the tap room. I can kind of see, and scout individuals of like who can, who's really interested in this line of work, and then I can give them more responsibilities, as well as someone may come up to me like, hey, I've been kind of interested in brewing. You mind, if I hang out and kind of learn? And at that point in time,
I thought you'd never ask.
and I'm definitely one to promote from within. Of
course.
It breeds loyalty within your employees, as well as trust as well too. But realizing this now that ultimately is my goal, I can prepare for it, as well as realize the fact that I can't do it all. No matter how much I think I can, I can't. And I have to, there's going to be times where I'm going to have to basically say no to the business, and because of family.
Right.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, the family comes before the business.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the business supports the family, but, the family comes number one in no matter what.
Yeah, we've had similar conversations. When we first started, we made the agreement that we're family first and podcasters and business owners second. So I totally get what you're saying there. I have perhaps a more important question, and the most important question of the night.
Oh, God, it's so good.
It is so good.
God, I love that beer.
It's so good.
It's literally one of the best beers on the
It's so
food fair.
good.
And it's so cheap for what it is.
And you can buy it throughout the state.
Yeah, well,
You don't have to go
if
to
only
the
you
brewery.
could buy it in Pennsylvania.
Well, it's only in Wisconsin.
That brewery is amazing, though. If you've never been, you need to go.
Yeah, if anyone gets around the Madison area of Wisconsin, even south, even if you get to Chicago,
You could even buy it in Green Bay.
yes, you can. But yes, you got to go to New Glarus.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting brewery. Steph, what do you think of the town of New Glarus?
It's super cute. What is it? Like Little Switzerland or something?
Yeah, it's
of
called
the US?
Little Switzerland. All the shops is like Swiss chalets. So
Yeah.
like down to the library, the gas station looks like a Swiss chalet. It's such a nice little quaint town, and
Nice.
basically, the only big industry really is the brewery there, and it makes some fucking phenomenal beer.
Yeah, they do.
I'm just glad I got a hookup for it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing.
Oh,
Yeah, very
like
good.
I said, I've been kind of saving this one for a while. I was gonna have a licensing party to invite everyone over to the house, tent. But unfortunately, I lost my my job. My former employer, let me go. It was at the end of January, so finances were kind of tight because I was planning on spending just a little bit of money to help feed everyone, and kind of a bottle share, things like that. So unfortunately, didn't come to fruition. So I got a lot of beer that I've been saving through the process of building the brewery that I wanted to drink at that party.
Right.
So I figured. So I got a couple more of the Belgian Red. Plus I have 12 ounce bottles as well too.
It's so good.
I have a couple cases of them.
Thanks for bringing it.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Not to throw
No.
Obviously, my beer is on the forefront, but I can definitely appreciate someone else's.
Oh, for
beer,
sure.
and they just freaking knock it out of the park.
The first time I ever had New Glarus beer was in this basement.
I'm not surprised.
Probably same here.
On the podcast, and I can't remember who we had on or
We
when
had
it was.
this beer on the podcast before.
I know. Yeah.
God, it smells so good.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so I've got a question.
Yes.
Quite possibly the most important question of the night.
Wait, I thought your last question was the most important
Yeah,
question.
then you both
You
interrupted
never
me.
got it out.
You both interrupted me.
Shit, sorry.
What the fuck happened to your hair?
Fell off the
There's
lawnmower.
people commenting on my Instagram, and they're like, we don't even recognize him. Did you say I fell off my lawnmower, by the way?
You really pulled the rug out of that reveal, by the way.
No. In all fairness to the story, so I've grown my hair out from time to time. I mean, it's been about, I think the longest I've had it was like chin length or something like that. Never really grew it for a real, truly long, extended period of time, and I'm not getting any younger. I mean, not like I'm old by any means of the imagination, not like John Stemler. Had to throw that one in there.
Boom. Yeah, he's like 60.
You might have to pee.
Sorry, John. But anyways, I just made the decision, through anything you do, you put a goal out there, you need motivation. You need something, that fire under your ass to keep you moving. So for me, I promised myself I'm not going to cut my hair until we get fully licensed with the state and federal government. And I knew it was going to be a while. But you know what, though? In the middle of the summer when I'm working outside, digging a hole, it's 100 degrees out when you got long hair, it's in your eyes, and it just is sweat. It really did motivate me. So when I wanted to grow a beard. I never grew a beard before because it kind of just comes in patchy on the sides. It's just all in the chin and neck. But so I'm like, okay, when we start renovations of the garage, I'm not going to shave. So that took about a year. And then the day comes, we got our final inspection from the Liquor Control Board. The lady came through, a little bit of paperwork, everything was fine. She handed us our license. I cried like a baby for about 10 minutes. I will fully admit to that. All the emotions came out, all the blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of tears. And Shannon, my wife, was actually she was shooting a session, so she wasn't there for it. But as soon as she came back, we had a big hug. First words out of her mouth, and I swear to God, so when are you cutting your hair? Because she liked the hair. Actually, she was kind of jealous of the hair because it was better than hers.
Oh!
And she will admit to that as well too. It was the boys and her would always call it my long and luscious hair because it was real thick. I mean, it had a nice wave to it. Nice curl, natural curl to it. A little bit more gray than I'd like.
It's dignified.
But, I told her, I said, hey, I made the deal. She called up her stylist 2 days later, chopped it off. We got 2 strands that were about 14 inches long.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, it literally was down almost, not about halfway to my elbow from my shoulder. And then I shaved, so there's a picture on Instagram that I had literally my beard trimmings in one hand and then the two strands from my hair, and I ended up donating it to charity, to Wigs for Kids. I could have done the Locks of Love, and I was talking to Steph when I first arrived here that to me pediatric cancer is it takes the breath out of me whenever you hear of a young child who hasn't even really enjoyed life yet, knows nothing at all other than what they're going through at that current moment. To me, if I can give a little bit of peace of mind to them, by all means, I'm all for it.
That's great.
For it. And, I haven't got a message back of who it gone to. I'd love to hear who it's gone to, and I hope they enjoy it because I sure enjoyed it as well too. But I really don't miss it. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. I just get it off my shoulders and my neck, and I don't miss the beard either as well too. Yeah, I funny story. I was there was a brewer symposium for the Brewers of Pennsylvania up at State College. So this is the first time I went to one of those meetings without the hair. No one knew who I was.
Man.
I'm walking up to people I've talked with, first name basis. Hey, so-and-so. Oh, hi. and your name again? I'm like, dude, it's Brooks.
Oh
I'm
man.
like, oh shit! Like, what the fuck happened to your hair? And go through the whole process, and like, I didn't even recognize you. And like, everyone's coming up to me that night, like, dude, if everyone. No one told me who you were. I have no idea whatsoever. So that's the deal with the hair. Everyone keeps telling me I look so much younger with it.
It's not a bad thing,
that's how
right?
it goes.
No, Christ, I can use it. I mean, once again, I'm not as old as Stemler is, but
Yeah, I mean,
But I think
there comes a point where there's nothing more you can do.
I think mainly because of the beard was so bulky, and with the hair
Yeah.
covering my ears, you just saw my eyes. So you just saw the wrinkles of my eyes. The laugh lines.
I think the best way to make yourself look younger, to give your like a young makeover, is to grow a beard and have it for like a really long time, so everybody knows you with the beard, and then as soon like just go clean shaven, then all of a sudden like automatically 10 years younger. Yeah.
Hey, guess what I'm doing tomorrow?
Yeah.
Shaving?
Yeah.
I don't like the way I
Attaboy.
look without a
Attaboy.
beard, so I'm fine looking old.
Should we tackle the last New Glarus, or should we save that for last call? Because I know we also have reserve.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Do it. All right, do it.
We'll do reserve, and last call.
So this would be
Serendipity.
The first one we had was the Belgian Red, and this one is Serendipity. Has anyone else come to a podcast with other people's beer? Like
Yes.
as a brewer?
A couple, yeah, here and there.
All right.
Yeah. We are totally okay with it.
Oh, I'm sure you were, but I mean, I obviously there's
We'll drink pretty much anything.
And a lot of anything, it looks like.
Didn't you bring any back home with you? Did you bring some back with you?
I don't. I might have one or two
One or
bottles
two
left.
left. I was
This
in
is Serendipity. It's fucking good. All right, let's keep talking.
All right.
Jesus. All right, so we have established that you're aiming for March 1st, 2020.
Correct. Trying to.
If anyone would like to follow the progression and keep an eye out for updates, where can they follow you?
You can find us Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I
got them all.
I may do a YouTube page, just kind of give a video. I don't know. That's a big task to take on.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
So I mean, it may be a uncut. This is basically just going through with my phone and hey, here's the tap room. Hey,
Honestly, if you're gonna do something like that, just do it on Instagram and Facebook. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason to put together a YouTube for like that sort of off the cuff.
Unless you want them saved in one place.
Yeah, I mean, just for archival purposes, but
Or purchases.
Whatever.
yeah, I don't.
But I feel like that kind of a thing would get more traction on like Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, it probably will. I struggle with the whole social media thing. I mean, I myself personally do not post very much on there. I mean, to me, I like my private life being private. I don't need everyone to know what my business is. But obviously, it's a necessary evil in the world we live in now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
once again, there will be a opportunity available for someone at some point for our social media director.
Yeah.
Who that will be and when it will be, I have no fucking clue.
When
It's me
time
right
and-
now.
When time and budget allows.
Correct. So yeah, I mean, probably just hit up Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Just pictures of what I'm doing.
As long as you have a Twitter handle that I can tag when the episode comes out, that's all I care
He
about.
does.
I do.
That's what matters to me.
There it is.
I do. So, today I was scraping the glue off the floor, taking out the drop tile ceiling. I'm going to have some fun with a concrete saw. That's going to be fun. That's probably going to be a video of me with a gas-powered concrete saw that I'm going to be renting to cut up the concrete.
Nice.
But, that's going to be the big job. But you know what? I love it. It's going to be
Good.
fun. It's all part of the process. It's just
Good.
Let's get it done and over with and move on with life. And move
That is
on
great.
to more beer.
That's awesome. That is so great to hear. And I can't wait to see what the future has in store for you, because this is a long time coming. You're clearly still passionate about it, and
Absolutely.
that's wonderful. And the beer is fantastic.
That's the most important part, like I said earlier, I was very, very discouraged that we couldn't get a location in Dillsburg, but my wife and I often talk amongst ourselves, and I know we mentioned this on the podcast with doing the beer and boudoir.
Yep.
That our ultimately our dream is to buy a plot of land, build a full production brewery, full restaurant, full kitchen, tap room, as well as she'll have some space in it as well too, with some nice big windows, nice beautiful natural light. That way the ladies can go get some nice pictures taken, and then after they can have a nice beer or two in the tap room.
I like that idea. That's great.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for
coming out
having me as always.
man.
Long overdue. It's great
Very
seeing you
long
guys.
overdue.
I'm a little tired. I'm not tired. I'm excited yet. Still, it's just nice to be on for more than 10 minutes.
There's still fun to be had.
Yeah,
I know.
there's still last call.
I have to be punished.
Yes, there's going to be a
you
punishment.
do.
Speaking of cell phone videos and where to watch videos on the internet, check out
I need your wife here to
patreon.com/beerbusters.
do me up right now.
You get to watch Steph get punished. You get to listen to last call.
Dear
You get all
Penthouse.
the all the cool behind the scenes perks. Also, we have tripods for our phones now.
Tripods.
Tripods
Tripods.
for our
Tripods.
phones.
We
now.
do have tripods, so it actually looks better produced. There's Twitter, there's Instagram at BeerBusters, there's Facebook Beer Busters Podcast, there is the website beerbusterspodcast.com. Patreon, of course, as we already said. Follow us on Untapped. Rate and review us on your podcast app of choice, and do that for all of the podcasts that you listen to, because that is how we find our validation
That's
in
how
life.
podcasts are made.
We all need that sweet, sweet validation.
Sweet.
Validation.
Yep.
Ba, ba, ba. On that plagiaristic note, that does unfortunately bring us to the end of another episode of Beer Busters. Brooks, it was so great having you out here, man.
Thanks for having me. I just wish Shannon could be along with, because
Yes.
I know she enjoys talking as well too.
Well, when we record at the tap room, she'll be there.
Bingo. I was just going to say.
Absolutely.
And
you
I can't
guys
wait.
are always welcome.
Oh,
Please.
thanks.
We'll be back.
I'll be out for several taste tests of the barrel-aged beer. And the chocolate cherry one, if one happens to fall off the back of the truck, cool. We'll see what happens with it.
I just need to get a truck first. It'll fall out of the back of the Volvo. I'll forget to close the tailgate.
There we go. Well, hey, I'm Dan Baker, joined by
Steph Heffner.
and no squids were harmed. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Can we talk about wastewater management?
More squids.
Eric is so fucking excited.